In this lesson, we're going to look at how can I make my informational writing really good. I want to remind you that we've already spoken about how we organized informational text and to look at like chronological, ranked list, pros and cons, and similar and differences. And those are 4 ways you could organize your whole text. And then also within each chapter, as you plan each chapter, you can organize the chapters that way as well. What I want to show you today, what I want to teach you today is that although informational writers are mostly fastening information onto a page so that others can learn it, their goal is the same goal that fiction writers have, to write well, to write in ways that get through to their readers. So there's 2 ways that informational writers do this and become better writers is they read the work of other informational writers, and then they also write with their readers in mind, thinking, how can I make this really good? So you want to have good writing that gets your readers' attention and makes them interested in the topic you're trying to teach them. So before I show you an example of an informational text that here's the things we want to look for in informational text. So I want you to actually copy this chart down so you have the qualities of good informational writing. And sometimes good informational writing has they should definitely have most of these, and sometimes they don't necessarily have it in each chapter, but they have it throughout a text. So you have the sections are focused on one subtopic, has ideas, not just facts, includes a variety of examples such as stories, quotes, and statistics. Some information is taught using words, some taught with images, captions, or charts. So there's a variety of visual things to appeal to you on a page. So those are the qualities of good informational writing. Now we're going to take a look at some informational text and see, which of these qualities does it have? And one more thing I want to look for is that you need to copy in your chart as well. So don't forget to copy this one down in your chart. I forgot the 5th one. And that is uses expert language, words and phrases important to the topic with definitions for many of those words. Now we're going to look at an informational text and see which of these 5 items it has in it. Okay, so here are the texts. And so these come from 2 different excerpts here, and they may not have all the qualities of a good information text, but they should have a decent number of them between these 2 texts. And just keep in mind that I don't know how the font's going to come out, so I don't know if you'll be able to actually read a lot of it, so make sure you're listening as I kind of highlight and point through the text. So when I look through this, I'm focusing in right here on this first text, which comes from a book titled The Civil Rights Movement in America. And you can see that it has like this heading here. I don't want that. There you go, that's a little bit better of a highlighter color. It has this heading here, the Little Rock Nine, and says that these young people perform some of the most heroic acts of the civil rights movement. These brave individuals made enormous sacrifices. This was the case in 1957 in Little Rock, Arkansas. So you have a specific date there. It says Little Rock had been slow to integrate its schools when its all-white Central High School was forced to accept 9 African-American students in September 1957. Everyone expected trouble. So Arkansas government Orval E. Fabus had the Arkansas National Guard surrounded the building to keep out the black students. So this here is telling a story about integration. It uses a specific word. You can see up here this U.S. Army infantryman stands guard outside Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas in U.S. early 1957. Elizabeth Eckford, she has another image, is taunted by whites as she attempts to make her way to Central High School in September 1957. So you have storytelling, you have a specific word, an expert word it isn't specifically defined here. You could probably figure it out what integrate means, but there is a glossary in this text later on. And it even explains Elizabeth Eckford, one of the 9 African-American students, attempted to enter the school alone. White teenagers casually walked past the Arkansas guardsmen who went Eckford. And if you could continue reading the next page, it says that they didn't allow her in. And eventually the U.S. sent their army to tell the Arkansas National Guard, no, they can't surround the building, they need to let them in. So it uses storytelling to illustrate a historical moment talking about the civil rights movement. So when we come back to this list and we say, okay, sections are focused on one subtopic. So this so far has been focused on that one subtopic. So you could say check, yes. Has ideas, not just facts. I don't know that it has like ideas. It's just saying like this is, I would say it does have ideas. And here's where it has ideas. It says right here, these brave individuals. It's saying that the people who these brave individuals made enormous sacrifices. It's saying that the the people who came into the school. So it's expressing the opinion that the African Americans should have had rights. So it is giving some ideas by calling them brave, not just the facts of what happened. So check. It includes a variety of examples. So it's telling a story right here. It does have some dates, so that's good. Some information is taught using words. Some taught with images. It has captions and it has the pictures of the people. Yep. Uses expert language, such as, and it has the bold-faced word there, so it has the expert language. So this one has all 5 of those in some way or another. So this is just one part of the text. So it does a great job of being information writing. Now here's another text, and this one's told a little bit different. This is actually called The Story of a Shoe, and it tells, like, there's a note at the beginning that kind of goes over, there's another page before this that goes over exactly what's going on in the text, and it's basically a shoe kind of telling the story of where it comes from. And it's kind of narrative, but it also has like these headings like leather, synthetics, and it tells you where the different things come from. It also, if you read down in the leather paragraph, it says, the cow was raised, slaughtered, and skinned in Texas. Most of the carcass became human and pet food. The hide was cured with salt and stacked with 750 others in a 20-foot container and carried by freight train from Amarillo, Texas. So it's giving us important statistics and data. There's some more different like quotes and things down here that are included. There's an illustration of sneakers to kind of get you the idea. It says synthetics, and it says, except for the leather, my shoes were made from petroleum-based chemicals. So it's telling me more about what it's giving me facts about what made the shoes. And there's broken up into sections based on like how the shoe was made. So you can see that this one, except for my leather, my shoes were made from petroleum-based chemicals. I'm not sure what that is. The midsole was a custom design. So midsole, I'm not sure what the midsole is, but that must be a word having to do with shoes. I know what the sole of a shoe is. So now let's kind of compare this and see how this compares with the good informational text. So when you look at the qualities of good informational text on this one, let's use blue to check this one off. Sections are focused on one subtopic. Yeah, each section was focused on like leather or the synthetics, what part of the shoe was made. It has ideas, not just facts. I'm not sure about that. It's probably expressing some voice and ideas and opinion, not just the facts about making a shoe because it's telling a story. So I'm going to say yeah. Includes a variety of examples such as stories. The whole thing itself is kind of a story that includes statistics and the examples of the materials made. So yes. Some information is taught using words, some taught with images. So there's the images. There's definitely some captions in this, and then there's the words itself too. So there's the images. There's like the quotes and things as well off to the side. Uses expert language, words and phrases important to the topic with definitions for many. So I didn't see any definitions like that for that midsole word, but it does use the word. So hopefully we can then figure them out within this text. So I would say this one's probably not as good in terms of the way it's set up as the first one, but it still has a lot of the qualities of good information writing that's your goal here. Your goal is that as you're writing your chapters, so you've organized your chapters and you're ready to write them, you want to make it look like these. You want it to say that sections are focused on one subtopic, has ideas, not just facts, includes a variety of examples, such as stories, quotes, and statistics. Maybe not all 3, but just 2 of them. Uses information taught using words, and then maybe you have some captions, or maybe you have some images, or some charts. Uses expert language, words and phrases important to the topic. So think about your topic and specific words and phrases relevant to that and use those. And then have some definitions for some of them, either right on the page or in a glossary at the end of the text. Again, this lesson went over some informational text and answered the question, how can I make my informational writing really good? So kind of copy what we looked at these texts and use it in your own writing to make good information writing.